So here's a lesson on how to start off on a basic voice recording in Garageband. I'm going to open up Garageband and we're going to create a new project. There's some different presets in Garageband. I'm going to ask for voice, and that'll get our recording session started for just a really simple voice recording. Garageband wants you to save your file before you open it, which is a great feature. And I'm just going to set up the screen here so we can see what's happening. Quick look at the Garageband interface. As you record different sounds in your project, they'll appear here, different tracks. Think of them like layers of a cake with different sounds. In the bottom left-hand corner here, I've got an icon to create new tracks. I've got some transport controls here to do things like play, fast forward, record. The time window down here. Right now, by default, Garageband measures time in musical notation, like bars and measures. I'm going to make sure that this is measuring in time at the moment. Okay. You might have trouble seeing on the projector at the moment, but hang tight and you'll be able to see it soon. The next thing I'm going to do is make sure that Garageband is set up properly to handle the audio. So I'm going to go to the Garageband menu and ask for preferences, and under the audio and MIDI settings here, you're going to want to make sure that you see the MBOX being used for both audio input and output. Right now I have AirPlay being used for my output for this demo, but you'd want to have the MBOX listed for both of those there. So to get started for our recording, Garageband has created a default set of tracks here, one for male basic voice recording and one for female. I'll pick male basic. That'll set up some of background processing to help Garageband give you the best quality recording. I want to make sure that sound is going to be coming in through the MBOX. That's the unit that we've got here for doing handling the input of the sound from the microphone into the computer. So I'm going to click this small eye icon in the bottom right of the screen here, and I've got my male basic track selected, and right here under input source I want to make sure that the input source is coming from the MBOX and it's in mono. Okay, so I've got mono selected. That means one microphone will deliver me a signal from both left and right speakers. Okay. Now I'm ready to set the recording level. I'm going to start talking into the microphone, and right now you can start to see the level meters on the track moving. This is telling us the sound level. Okay? And the sound level is controlled by this button right here, this control right here on the MBOX for input number 1. This is the level for input number 1. If the level is too low, you'll notice that the audio level meters are barely fluttering into the green. If I turn the audio level up too high, we'll notice that the audio level meters are clipping into the red and yellow now, indicating it's too high. We're looking for that Goldilocks spot. I'm going to turn the level down and keep talking so that every once in a while I might see it flutter into the red or yellow, but I'm not seeing it on all of the time. It's important when you're ready to start recording that you turn the speakers off, otherwise you could get that loud, high-pitched feedback sound. So I'm going to make sure that on the MBOX the volume level is right down. I'm ready to do a little simple vocal warm-up here, and on screen on the upper right hand side here I've got a couple of vocal warm-ups, so I'm going to use these as the source material for my recording here. Okay? So I'm ready to start my recording. I've got the speakers off, the microphone on, the level adjusted. I'm going to hit the record button, and here we go. Here's our first recording. Incidentally, there is a metronome feature in Garageband. You're going to want to turn that off, otherwise you're going to hear a ticking sound in your recording. So here we go. Garageband is recording now, and I can see an audio waveform being recorded. Okay? This is changing with the volume of the sound. If the recording level was too high, the waveform would look cut off like this. If the recording level was too low, the waveform would be really weak like this. Okay? So again, I'm looking for that spot where the recording level is not too high or too low, and this looks like it's probably good here. I'm ready to start with my vocal warm-ups. So here we go. Mr. Tamek's vocal warm-ups, take 1. Tattery, tattery, tittery, tottery, tuttery. Memory, 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 mummery, mummery. Babbity, babbity, bibbity, bobbity, bobbity. And I'll press the stop button. If I want to listen to the recording now and hear what I've got, I'm first going to turn the microphone level down, all the way down. I don't want to end up with that feedback situation. Now I'm safe to turn the speakers up. Okay. And I can go back and listen to my recording. I'm going to go back to the beginning here. And we'll see what we've got.
Garageband is recording now, and I can see an audio waveform being recorded. Okay. This is changing with the
I'm not going to change the volume of the sound, but listen how loud it gets here.
level was too high. The waveform would get cut off like this. If the recording level is too low, the waveform would be really weak.
Do you hear how the volume changed there? It got really loud when the waveform got too high here, and it was kind of crunchy sounding. That's distorted, okay? Then conversely, when it went into this area where the waveform was kind of low, the signal was too low, you had trouble hearing it, okay? Here's where I get into the actual...
That spot where the recording level is not too high or too low, and this looks like it's probably good here. I'm ready to start my vocal warm-ups. So here we go. Here's the
Okay. Now this earlier part of the recording I don't need here. It's easy to split the track right here. I'm going to go to Edit, and I am going to split the track here. And now I can click on this part of the waveform and just delete it. And then I can move the rest of the waveform back so that now my recording starts here.
Mr. Tannen's vocal warm-ups, take one. Tappity, tappity, tippity, toppity, toppity. Memory, 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 memory. Stabbity, dabbity, dippity, bobbity, bobbity.
I'd say in general my recording level might be a little bit low, so I can use this control on here to increase, and you'll notice this is in decibels, increase the volume level a little bit. One final thing you might want to check on your recording, if you're starting to hear a lot of background kind of echo in your recording, click on the info button under Edit, and you may need to turn down the reverb level or the echo level. A little bit of that is good, but too much will give you too much of that echo sort of sound. If I'm done my recording and I'm ready to share it, I'm ready to export it, I'm going to go to the Share menu, Export Song to Disk. I'm going to compress this because I'm going to upload it online, so I'll use MP3 format and export the track. Click Save. And now GarageBand is taking our high quality recording from here and making a slightly reduced quality but much smaller version that's now sitting on the desktop. That's it. I hope this lesson helps.